Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ask Alina Z. And today we're actually asking Margie M, a good friend of mine, and she is a licensed family and marriage therapist and a board certified hypnotherapist. That's a mouthful, but so worth it for her 25-year experience in helping people. And she's been my really great friend, helping me as well. So I wanted to share my knowledge and her knowledge together in this podcast slash video on how to detox from emotional baggage. Because a lot of times people are saying, well, I need to detox the body and they're eating well, but they're still not healthy because emotionally they're not healthy. So welcome, Margie. I'm so excited for you to be here. Let's just jump right into it. Like, how does one know that they need a detox emotionally, and how to even do an emotional detox?
So yes, I'm so excited to be here with you, Alina. I love this because you and I, we're such good friends. We always have these conversations off camera. So it's great to share this with people. A lot of times we don't even check in with ourselves to see how we're feeling, or how our body is doing. We're just like in this culture, in the society where we're always go, go, go. And what's the next thing I have to do? And what do I have to get done? And okay, got through the day, start again tomorrow. And like we're on this just hamster wheel, right? And we're always going. And that's my experience when I talk to most people. They're like, what do you mean I don't come up for air? Like, what are you talking about? Stop. I don't have time. So yeah, let's talk for a minute about how do you know that you need to stop? What are some signs to emotionally detox that you really need it? Okay. One surefire way to know you need it is you're snapping at people. People are annoying you. Somebody's cutting you off in traffic and the person got in front of you at the line at the grocery store and you're like ready to kill them. The feeling you're feeling inside doesn't match what's happening on the outside. So like what's happening here is like this level and you're like here.
Yes.
Or your partner or your kid or someone says something to you and you're like, oh my God, or you start crying and it's like, it doesn't match at all. And so a lot of times we're so overwhelmed that we don't even know we're overwhelmed. So one way to know is you're snapping at people. People are really annoying you. And people would say, well, it's not me, it's them. Like I had a bad day. People were just nasty, but common denominator is you.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's one thing. Another thing, and feel free to jump in. I'll ask you also like how you know for yourself, but I'm just even thinking in my life and people I talk to and my clients and people that are around me, how do we all know? So I just feel really drained. Like everything takes so much effort. And sometimes I just want to sleep or I have no more mental capacity to even talk to people. I don't want to hear anybody. I don't even like seeing people in my space. Like I just want a space,
Yeah.
So just that feeling of I'm really exhausted. And yeah, I kind of put a third one in there, collapsed it together of I have no tolerance to talk to people, to process anything. There's no room in my brain. Um, and sleep is definitely a big thing when you're having trouble falling asleep, staying asleep. You have too much up here and in here. It's not releasing. We're meant to be in flow, right? We're meant to, as human beings, to take in, release, take in, release. If that's not happening, we get all boggled up. And yes, and you'll talk about that, I'm sure, with food. You need to detox because you're all boggled up. But then with emotions, when you're all boggled up, that's how it shows up. You can't sleep. And it also affects food. You either wind up overeating because you're numbing your feelings, or you're just shutting down and you're not hungry and you're just not eating. And nausea is another way to know. Just food makes you nauseous. Sometimes just emotions can make you nauseous, just
Yeah.
you're walking around just nauseous. I've had that where I'm like, why am I nauseous? I just have no more capacity to take any more in.
Yeah.
Um,
You know, it,
what's your experience?
I agree when I snap at people, when like somebody really annoys me and I'm like, wait a minute, like, why did it trigger me? And it's like, oh, there's more stuff. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. because a lot of us get annoyed, especially right now with the pandemic. There's just so much stress that is outside of the current circumstance of going to the grocery store and standing in line, and then you snap. And I had this visual. I thought, how do you know you need a physical detox? Well, you might have a muffin top and your jeans are really, really tight. And I feel like the same with emotions. They're overflowing. They're not being contained in your body, in your spiritual body. And it's tight and it's making you nauseous and uncomfortable. And I feel like when you are physically not feeling good, people annoy you. You don't want to talk to people. You don't have time for anybody. You don't have capacity. And so the same with emotional, physical and emotion go so hand in hand. And for me, like if I snap at somebody, it definitely is a sign. Like if in traffic I get annoyed. And then the opposite is true. Like if you're in love, if you're happy, right, nothing annoys you. You're just like, oh, go ahead, please. And when I was doing my cleanse, people were saying like, you look so happy. And it's true, because when you're doing a juice cleanse and you get on the third day, when you release all the junk that you don't need to carry, you just feel so high. You feel so happy, like you don't need the food anymore. And people are like, how is it that you have so much energy after like 5 days of not eating anything? I'm like, I don't know. The juice gives me energy, and then my body just starts working better. And I think the same with emotions, right? You get rid of that stuff and then you just feel better and you're a happier person. And, one question that I know people are going to be asking is like, okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But I don't have time. I have family to feed. I have work, like great, but I don't have time. I need to be realistic. And I'm going to ask you of how do you actually begin. But before we get there, I want to say one thing, that if you snap at your family, if you snap at your boss, if you are not productive because you are being annoyed, grumpy, you don't have energy, then you're not doing the best you can for others and for your work. And then you need this detox, emotion cleansing for them. You cannot afford not to do it, because then your productivity will go much faster. You will get much better at what you do. You will be much better with your friends, much better with your family. And so it will take you less time to do things in the future. And so you're saving. It's kind of like spending money. People go,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have money for, healthcare, but do you have money for sick care? Like you have to choose. And emotional well-being is so important because it's so preventative.
So,
And
so let me jump in for a second because I just thought of a really like quick good example. I was talking to one of my clients who happens to be a therapist, and we were talking about how she is she has less clients now, and so she's bringing in less money, and she's like, I feel guilty. I should be bringing in more. So I was like, okay, well, you can either bring in less and practice self care, or you can bring in more and use that extra money you're making to go to doctors and take care of whatever disease you're going to create. So it's like you choose, like along the lines of what you're saying. If you invest in you, you're going to be more productive. Everything's going to flow so much easier. If you keep saying, I don't have time, then everything else is going to bottle up and you're going to wind up having to spend more time later on the back end cleaning all the mess that you made internally and externally.
exactly. And I want to just jump in and tell the viewers and the listeners about something you told me, Margie, which was fascinating. I think it was your mentor's client, or maybe your client. I cannot remember the exact story, but she had multiple personality disorder. And she went into surgery having cancer, I think. And then the other
Mhm.
personality took over and the cancer wasn't there. Like, different personalities create different ailments. And to me, that story was so just like mind blowing, such an aha moment, because our personality that creates things in our bodies and how we consume things. It's not like the same body had the same food 2 days ago. So it's not really not the food. It's not the food, but it's not the food. You don't want to eat garbage and be like, oh, personality is great. You want to.
Well, it's the filter that you process it through, right? Because with what you do, it's like if you're standing up and eating and you're shoving it in your body, you're going to process it completely differently. You're not going to digest it to the degree you would digest it if you sat down and you really took time and you were like, oh, this meal is yummy. I'm giving it to myself. I love how I take care of myself. It's a completely different filter you're going to process it through, right? And digestion will be completely different. Same meal.
Exactly. So let's do an exercise. I know you said that there's something you can share with us and you can show us how we can actually take care of ourselves in like 5-10 minutes a day maybe. I think even checking in with yourself, being like, oh, what's bothering me, and then getting a little bit that edge off, like, okay, I need to get deeper into that. But okay, now how do we get deeper? Where do you start?
Okay, so this exercise I'm gonna do is really cool because you can do it anytime. And yeah, it could take 5 minutes. If you don't have time to go all the way deep, you can just go a little bit. But it kind of incorporates scanning your body, taking inventory of where you're at, and just like not even having to think about it. I mean, you'll see as I do it with you, how to do it. But there's so many ways to detox emotionally. This is one exercise. You and I could go on, and I could give you so many more exercises, and we could talk about this for hours. So this is one, but of course, there's so many. I mean, an easy like few to give you is meditation. You can even do a 5 minute meditation. I tell people go on like Calm or Insight Timer and pick a 5 minute meditation, a talking meditation, just get out of your head. Or, put your phone down, just set the timer for 5 minutes, go outside, use five senses. What do I see? Describe everything you see in detail. What do I hear? Really focus on what you hear. Like each one of your senses, getting really, really specific. Just doing that. You can even do that while you're driving or running errands. Just doing that gets you out of your head and detoxes. Like it's so easy to detox. It's really getting out of your head. You're out of your head, you're detoxing.
Perfect. I
You
love it.
know? So whatever you can do, so reading can get you out of your head. So we can talk about a lot more, but I just wanted to give you like those few that people can just practice anytime. Okay, so we're going to do this exercise. I'm going to have you pick an area of your body that you feel discomfort in. Now, you may feel discomfort in like 3 areas. Okay, you're going to pick the one you feel the most in.
Okay.
So where's yours?
My finger has been hurting since the pandemic started. On and off. I think it's like it's the nerves, it's the stress, and it's like in this left finger, and I feel like maybe it's like my feminine side. I need to receive more. I don't know what it is,
That's
but
so interesting. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do your finger. Okay. So you're going to close your eyes. Okay. And you're going to take 5 deep breaths. And you're going to breathe in like you're smelling a rose through your nose. Deep. And you're going to hold. And then you're going to release out of your mouth like you're blowing out a whole bunch of candles on a cake. So you want it to be as loud as possible because that means you're going deeper. Yeah, you kind of want to feel, you keep breathing. I'm just going to explain. You kind of want to feel like you're breathing in really deep. And when you're exhaling, like you're exhaling so deep, your body almost curves like a C.
yeah, I felt that when I was exhaling, my body started to curve.
Right? It's like it kind of goes in, right? So do 5 deep breaths. Now you can change how many breaths you do. I'm just picking five just to start. Okay. So let me know when you're done.
My dog is breathing too.
Oh, good. He's doing it with you.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, good. Keep your eyes closed. And now I would usually have you scan your body and pick the area where you feel discomfort. So is it still your finger or is there another area?
Still my finger.
Your finger. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you say the discomfort is? 10 being the most, one is barely anything.
Like 3.
Okay. So you're going to breathe in now into the finger. Okay. So like breathing in and out. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Into the area where it hurts. So breathe into your finger and breathe out. Go ahead and do 3 deep breaths.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So if that discomfort was a color, what color would it be?
Like a gray.
Okay. And if it was a shape, what shape would it be?
Cloud.
Okay. And texture?
I had a vision of the atomic bomb. So it's like cloudy mushroom looking, and the texture is like fuzzy and like cotton, a cotton ball.
Got it. Okay. And about how big is it? Can you describe the size?
Like a
The
mushroom.
discomfort? Mushroom. Okay. So like that big. Okay. And if it could talk to you, what would it say?
It's tired.
Okay, good. And if it could ask you for anything, what would it ask you for?
It will ask me to chill more,
Okay, awesome.
to
And
relax
it's great.
more, breathe more.
Yeah, and it's great to be open to listen to what that discomfort is telling you because sometimes people will say, well, it's not telling me anything. And I'll say, well, just listen. And then when they really listen, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm hearing this. So don't judge. I just want to say to the viewers, don't judge. Whatever you hear your body telling you, whatever it's telling you is right.
It's telling me to jump more, like jump, jump. Okay.
Okay. So chill and jump.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe like movement
Move
and then relaxing.
kid. I feel like I need to be more like a kid and more like move my body and play.
Awesome. So I love that as you're listening more to it, you see you're getting more information, right? So being more playful, maybe like more fluid, letting go more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now you're gonna take 3 deep breaths into that area again, into the finger, again through your nose, out of your mouth.
Okay.
Okay, and now on a scale of 1 to 10, what number is it?
Like a 1 or 2. That definitely felt better.
Okay. So here's the other thing. We're not trying to change it. We're not trying to get rid of it. We're not trying to do anything to it. We're just, there you go. We're just loving it. Exactly. You're like right on cue without even knowing I was going to say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just listening to it and we're just having compassion towards the discomfort, okay? But not trying to do anything to it. We're not making it wrong, okay? So it's just there. It's like observing a pillow on your couch. It's just there. Okay. So now, so if you had to pick a number, which one would you say, 1 or 2?
Um, like 1 right now. Actually, now like holding it and going like this and kissing it in my mind, it's going to 1. I definitely, when I relax, it doesn't hurt. When I get tense, I feel the pain. So
Great awareness. Good. Okay. So if it was a color, what color would it be?
right now,
Yeah.
like a yellow for some reason, like light
Okay.
yellow. Yeah.
Okay. We're not judging, right? We're just observing. Doesn't have to make sense. If it was a shape, what shape would it be?
Probably the same, but just lesser on the edges. Just
Got it.
starting to like evaporate a little.
Okay. And texture?
Just like maybe a cotton candy, more like a little more airy than a cotton ball.
Got it. Okay. And size?
Probably the same, maybe a little less because it started to evaporate.
Okay. So show me. Keep your eyes closed, but just kind of show me how big you think. Okay, perfect. And if it could talk to you, what would it say?
Thank you.
And if it could ask you for anything, what would it ask you for?
Keep doing this.
Ah, awesome. Anything else?
No.
Okay. So now take 3 deep breaths into that area again, into your finger.
Okay.
Okay. And now what number is it?
Probably a 1. Same.
Okay. Now the number can stay the same. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. So now you're going to do 3 deep breaths into that area again. Actually, let's do 5 deep breaths. Breathe out really deeply so you can hear it. There you go. Good.
I'm getting dizzy from breathing so deep.
So that shows you that you probably haven't been breathing deep enough, right? Not enough oxygen going to your head, to your brain, if you're getting dizzy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So now on a scale of 1 to 10, what number is it?
A 1.
Okay. And if it was a color, what color would it be?
Probably pale yellow.
Okay. And shape?
Same. Maybe like a little less on the edges. So it was like mushroom, and now it's more like a balloon.
Okay. And texture?
Slowly just dissipating into the space.
Okay. So kind of becoming more like a gas, like
Yeah,
a
exactly, like a gas. Mm-hmm.
okay. Okay. And size?
Probably the same.
Okay. And if it could talk to you, what would it say?
Just keep chilling.
Okay. And if it could ask you for anything, what would it ask you for?
Keep doing the same. Yeah, rest more. So I'm taking today and tomorrow. I got a day off, so I'm gonna rest a lot and just chill.
Good. So at first it said playfulness and rest, right? So kind of like a combination of both.
So I'm gonna do more jumping, definitely.
Okay. Good. And now on a scale of 1 to 10, what number is it?
A 1.
Okay. So you can open your eyes.
Okay.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel dizzy. I feel like, um, yeah, I feel relaxed. Definitely relaxed.
So your body's recalibrating. Sometimes dizziness is just like things shifting internally and it shows up like dizziness. Sometimes, when I do trauma work with people and they're releasing trauma, they get dizzy because it's like shifting in the brain. The synapses are going off, different pathways are getting created. So it's a good thing because your body's recalibrating.
I definitely feel, yeah, something like recalibrating. And I wanted to just take a quick side. I looked at myself in the mirror, in a
Screen.
camera, so you can't even think. And I wanted to say, I'm wearing 2 necklaces today from Electric Fix, which is one of my favorite brands. One is a key, and another one is a lock. And I feel like this is a reminder that you hold the key to the lock. You've got all the answers. And I wanted to wear it symbolically for our time together because you are the person who helps the people unlock their own psyche because they hold the key. You're just there to what you did with me, right? You and with others who are following, you are doing the instruction. And as a professional, you know which instruction goes well with what. So that's why I think psychotherapy is so, so important because as much as I can tell somebody to drink juice, or eat vegetables, I can tailor that to people and see which juice, when to drink, what vegetables. And I think you as a person who people come to for help, you can create the correct program uh, and help people unlock their psyche with their own keys, but you can help them, you show them how to do it.
Yes, absolutely, because they're the ones that hold all the answers. And I want to say about this exercise, yes, I tailored it to you and I changed it to whatever felt organically right for you. So I usually stop with people when they get to a 1 or a 0. You were at a 1 a few times, but I kept going because I felt like you could really benefit from doing a few more rounds of it. So I wasn't looking to change the number. I just wanted you to kind of go deeper into it. So usually I have people keep going. Sometimes they get stuck at, let's say, like a 3, like if someone started at a 10 and they get, or a 7, let's say, and they're stuck at a 3. Sometimes in their mind, I find I have them open their eyes and I'll ask, what's going on? I just didn't believe it was going to work anymore. So it's like they get in their own way. So then I talk to them. So if people are doing this on their own at home and they get stuck at a number and they can't get past it, I would recommend get a piece of paper, journal, and write about what is that thing, what is the belief that's coming up? What is the thing you're stuck on that you can't get past? So that's the first thing. So the number like 0 or 1, that's kind of the goal. But if not, if whatever you can do will create a shift. And maybe you have to stop at the 3, walk away, come back to it another time.
Yeah.
The other thing is the breaths. Like sometimes I have people do 10 deep breaths because I feel like they really need to release the deep pain, especially if it's at a high number. I know you, so I know you release stuff really quickly. So I did less breaths, and sake of time, I did less. But people can do 10 breaths, they can do 5, they can do 1, they can do 2. And so I usually have them do deep breathing before they check the number. And then if the person feels like they need to do deep breathing again before they start to do the exercise, do it again. But like those things can all be tailored and changed to whatever works for the person.
Well, because I know we need to wrap up, but I want to tell you something which like really shocked me. One thing I got annoyed with was like, oh my God, you're gonna make me deep breathe again. And I'm like, why am I being annoyed at deeply breathing? Okay, something to look into. Like, am I not taking enough time for myself? Obviously. Even though I do take time, but I don't take it consciously. And then another thing, when you said 10 breaths, and my mind goes, 10 breaths, I would die. That's a lot. I was like, okay, you're asking me to do something my body needs, and I'm freaking out. Like, that is a sign that I'm not doing enough of this.
Right.
So I want to just say to those who are listening and watching that you're not alone at the resistance. Because I'm
Yes.
sure others are like, I don't have time to deep breathe. I don't have time for 5 breaths. What do you have time for? What's more important than breath? So I think the summary is that deep breathing and awareness is the best way to detox your emotions. And then level 2 is to go, as like level 1, the beginner, just be aware. Level 2 is to go into this breathing exercise and breathe into the discomforts. And the third would be to go see Margie. I'm just a shameless plug for her because I talk to her every day and I get free therapy and she gets coaching and we help each other. And I also want to point out to something that she said. She said that she has a client that's a therapist, and like therapists need help as well. Everybody needs help. And so if a therapist who is dealing with this and knows all of this stuff takes time to get therapy and coaching, normal people, regular people with whatever challenges in life who don't have this awareness need it more than anybody, because they are the ones who are running on empty. And if you're running on empty in your car, you're going to pull to a gas station and get gas. And so you need to do the same before you're stranded on a highway with no gas, because we don't want that. So,
And healers, I just want to say healers need the most healing because they're so busy helping. And
yeah,
so I find a lot of times when those are the people, when I get those people in, that they're so drained. And, I just want people to know, like the ones that are really in those professions, everyone can benefit, but especially those people, like take time. And the breathing, you can do breathing everywhere. The reason I had you do that deep breathing is because that kind of breathing is so different. Just that alone detoxes you. So if you have no time for anything else, put a reminder on your phone once an hour. I do 3 deep breaths.
yeah. And I said I was wrapping up, but I just want to say something that came out to me that I remembered. I asked my trainer a long time ago, my personal trainer, about, okay, where does the fat go or something like that? Like, you pee, you poo and stuff like that. But you do something every single minute. You breathe. You literally breathe stuff out that is little particles of your organs, of your cells. Like, we're breathing each other's organs, basically. Anytime you want to have a giggle, you're like, if you're breathing around people without a mask, you're breathing their organs in. And breath is cleansing. Breath is the most cleansing thing, because if you can live without food for 30 days, you can live without water for 3 days, you cannot live without breath for 3 minutes. So I think so important, coming back to the essence of detoxing is breathing. So thank you so much, Margie. I appreciate it. I will post her contact information for you guys so you can get more information about her. Do the exercise, listen to this podcast, watch the video again so you can do the exercise again. And if you have a deep trauma that you really, really need help with, Margie does this amazing rapid reduction technique, which is incredible. It saved me so many times. I've done it on so many different things. And I highly recommend that for deep, deep, deep detox of things that happened to you when you were 2, when you were 7, that happened yesterday. It's an incredible technique. It takes an hour, not 5 minutes. So you need professional help.
Well, I'll say the technique doesn't take an hour.
Correct. The technique does not take an hour, but the thing around it takes time because she guided me through, beginning of it, middle, end. Like there's just so much that goes into it. So I highly recommend it. Anyway, thank you so much, Margie, for your wisdomness. I love that word, wisdomness, and for your support and for your love. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Join us on next podcast, Ask Alina, or ask someone else that is a friend of mine that can help. And until later. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much, Alina.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.